So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Do that just to do it once and see how it looks.
We could do that.
So, but it's the V6 in there, right? And is that what you're putting back in it?
Yeah, that's what we're putting back in it, at least for the first year, so while he learns to drive, because this will be his first car.
Oh, okay.
And then we've got aspirations. We have a 4.6 Terminator motor.
Okay.
That we may wind up in here when it's all said and done.
But this is the kind of thing, guys. I mean, I'll tell you what. The one thing in Georgia is there's affordable cars like this.
There are. Hold on. There aren't here. No, just probably California.
Oh yeah, okay,
go look there,
yeah, go look there. Wait, because they don't want anybody, they don't want all the. If we tell us there's going to be a whole bunch of cars with Chicago plates and New York plates and California plates coming in here and trying to get them. So yeah, these don't exist. We actually let's rephrase. Yeah. That was $25,000, and this thing was priceless. So yeah, you can't afford to come here to Georgia and buy stuff.
Don't even bother, guys.
So
don't even bother.
So in fact, they can't even afford real deer. They got to put fake deer out in the yard because the deer here are too expensive.
Yep.
So all right, let's go. And now this one here. When I was in the Navy in the 80s, and I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and a guy there, David Rice. Dave, if you're watching this, you're about my age now, but if you were in Memphis, Tennessee, in Millington, bought one of these when they first came out. Yep. And they were kind of competing with the Fiero, and also the Fiero was competing with basically the Porsche because they were all, everybody wanted them, and these things were really cool when they came out. And it's an MR2.
It's an MR2. It's an 85 model, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, I haven't run the numbers or checked it, but I was told by the guy I got it from it was 85. This was an interesting story. I had to get permission to go get this.
Right.
This belonged to my first girlfriend, my first true love.
Okay.
Her brother called me up, and he said, this thing's been sitting in my backyard for 20 years, and my yard caught on fire, and he said it ran, back it up, it caught on fire in the back and burnt the ground effects and messed up the computer in it.
Okay.
He said, Gary, I want it out of my yard.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay.
And he said, if you'll come get it, you can have it. So I went and picked it up. The motor's complete. It's been, I believe it's still free. I really don't know. I haven't looked that deep into it.
So what caught on fire? The electrical box.
The yard, somebody, neighbor was burning off the yard.
Oh, so the grass caught on fire.
The grass on fire in the wintertime down here.
Okay.
And the battery blew up, and all this suffered. So I've been trying to find a donor car or something, to make one. Not that easy to find. I found one in the junkyard, and unfortunately the Swedish had came and cut it in half and took the rear portion.
Oh wow! So somebody else had taken it. So, But the other thing that's cool with it, if you're, especially look, if you're a young kid, or maybe you're not a young kid, maybe you're an old guy like me, but you've never painted a car or you've never worked on a car, you could get something like this for $100, $200 from a junkyard. Don't worry about titles or anything, and learn how to paint a car. You can paint this 16 different times
and guys, do stuff. In my opinion, you take this car, when I redo this car, I'm probably going to tub that car out. I priced building a trunk of that car. There's $2,000 or $3,000 in buying sheet metal to go in the trunk of that car. You can go buy a sheet of steel, and I've got access to a bead roller and stuff like that. But you can build your own stuff. A lot of times it's cheap, and if you're not worried about making it absolutely original, don't worry about it.
Yeah, if you're not putting it in Mecum auctions,
then I mean, like this car was destined to be crushed, and or I could. I mean, I would take a bead roller and whatever, and fashion a floorboard back out of this, and work with what I've got. If I could, I mean.
And like I said, even if not, if you buy something like this and you never painted a car, and you're like, well, you got your family car and you're thinking of painting it. Well, you buy this, sand it down, You paint it, you practice on it. I mean, that's what they do at tech schools. They bring in these cars like this, and
I didn't know how to do upholstery work until I started
doing upholstery work.
Yeah, and after I messed up, I fixed it, and I just went through that process over at the end of a year's time. I knew about as much as anybody else, outside of some techniques that I could learn from like really good custom guys.
Well, they say you have to do something for 10,000 hours before.
Yeah.
And that's why if you ever watch a YouTube channel,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
if you go back and watch my beginning videos, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
No,
but you learn.
I don't.
So, and then this is a cool tractor, actually.
This is an air-cooled Deutz. I can't say it. Deutz. It's not a Deutz Atlas. It's actually just a Deutz. It's an air-cooled diesel tractor. They were, I think it's from the '60s. My uncle bought it and asked me to. I do everything.
Right.
So he asked me to work on it. I got the fuel system cleaned out, and it needs an injection pump. And here it sits.
You mean you can't go to Napa Parts and get an injection pump for this?
Unfortunately not. He could have it rebuilt, but I think in his opinion the injection pump cost more than the tractor was worth.
So it could be painted up and put up in somebody's front yard as a lawn ornament.
That's it. He's supposed to come get it, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I see if they don't make Jeeps in factories. What you do is you plant a Jeep, and then you grow it, you pour water on it, pour some oil, diesel stuff on it, and it takes a while. Now this one's only been here this is a new Jeep, because you can tell.
This is a CJ. Yeah. This is the tub off my CJ7 that if I don't move it's gonna have rust in it. But actually this Jeep has always been kept sheltered. I tell people this was oh gosh, Smokey and the Bandit. What's his name?
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds Jeep.
It was?
Because technically it was. He owned a hunting plantation, and this was on the hunting plantation.
Oh, okay. so technically
so it was his.
It's his.
Yeah. But at some point in the past, a tree or something fell across here.
Okay.
This door is 3/8 of an inch to close, and I had some hard doors, and I was hunting out of this Jeep, and I couldn't close the passenger's door after I went and bought the doors and everything. So I pulled the cap. I bought a junk tub and threw on my Jeep and took this off to repair it. I got married, life got in the way.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought maybe this parked it in Detroit and came back out.
It came back to the
That was all.
Yeah, we could have went with that. Yeah. I really, actually, we've got to get this up and get on it,
or at least get it off the ground.
Get it off the ground. Yeah, I
think
you helped me set it off, and then he went to Navy.
Oh, so that's a weird reason to go to the Navy. He's like the guy at the recruiter was like, "What are you doing with your life?" "I'm trying to help my uncle rebuild a Jeep. Look at this." Yeah. He saw the picture of that. He goes, "Dude, you just got to get in the Navy."
Get in the Navy. Yeah. Get the heck out of here right now.
So, and then this is the Jeep. This is the original Jeep.
This is the original Jeep here. Yep, and we were coming home.
What year is that about?
It's a 82.
82, okay.
It's a wide track.
Okay.
It's got the wider wheelbase. And I actually drove it up there and parked it. We were coming back from fishing.
Right.
And the old oil pressure it has a oil pressure switch, and it went bad and sprayed all the engine oil out.
So it's a Renegade model.
Renegade, yep.
Okay.
And it's got a very quiet knock in it now. So we shut it down before we did any more damage. And a Johnny Walker.
So is this the original color then, or whatever it was?
No, this is a set of hard doors and a top I bought from Florida. The front was yellow.
Okay.
It had I think a yellow and orange stripe.
So this was one of the yellow and orange.
Yeah, it looks like it was originally this cream.
Yeah, because Dennis Collins, I just actually emailed Dennis Collins the other day to let him know about the channel, because he does a ton of Jeeps. So I don't know if
gotcha.
And that's his passion. And he could tell you what this is and if it's worth. Because now some of these Jeeps, especially different colors, are worth a fortune.
Oh, really? Well, I need to look.
Yeah, you need to go watch Dennis Collins. If you guys like Jeeps and Shelbys, he collects Shelbys. You guys know who Dennis Collins is. If you don't know who he is, Richard Rawlings, who did Gas Monkey Garage.
Yeah.
Dennis was his original partner, Money Man.
Okay.
So he's owned 1,000 cars or whatever.
Gotcha.
But he has his own channel called Dennis Collins. If you guys, it's called Coffee Walk with Dennis Collins.
Okay.
It's a great car channel, and he's real technical. Like, he looks at everything he buys, specific vehicles, but Jeeps. Him and his brother owns a Jeep dealership,
got you.
or a classic Jeep dealership in Texas. So it may be somebody to.
Yeah, let's go.
So.
Yeah, this is the inside.
Okay.
I got a heck of a deal. There was I can't remember the name of the place, but the guy had bought out another Jeep parts place.
Right.
And he sold me this top for $250.
Oh, wow.
And let me have the doors for $100, I believe it was.
Oh.
So I came back with the.
I gotta go shopping with you, man. Like,
Yeah.
you don't pay anything for anything.
No, man.
I think you ought to do a YouTube channel on how to go buy stuff cheap from people, because
I probably should. It's probably called waste all your time surfing. Just be the first one, you know. Yeah, there's.
but it's a solid, and this is what is what
Yep.
you guys use for fishing, hunting, just
fishing,
fun
hunting.
stuff.
I'm a pretty avid outdoorsman, or I was, especially, but I just got remarried, so I kind of slowed down a little bit.
Right.
But it's just me and him for about 8 or 9 years, and we were living up. We were batching
Right.
it, and we were hunting, fishing, target archery, just all kind of stuff, all South Georgia activities, you know.
Do you know what, did you put these on?
No, I didn't. So what
I don't
this
know what
was-
they're for.
Okay, so the tailgate laid on top of these.
Okay.
And they had a dog box built in here.
Oh.
And the hunters rode on top of the dog box. And then if you see the front bumper is just as big.
Right.
It's a little longer. Actually, it had a bench seat on the front.
Okay.
So they drive the Jeep in like 4 low and just let it crawl. And the hunters sit on it. When the dog points birds, they stand up and walk off, shoot the birds, and they come sit down.
Okay.
Somebody else goes and gets.
So it's like a roving deer stand.
Yeah, that's,
kind
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
So cool. Well, you got a ton of stuff here,
Oh yeah.
and
just junk everywhere.
but yeah, I saw there was like
That's
a
a
small,
Harley Davidson golf cart.
like
believe it or
made
not.
by Harley.
Yep, made by Harley when it was owned by AMF.
Really?
Yep, it has a Columbia engine in it. Another thing that I was at somebody's house one day and he was trying to get it on a trailer to throw it away.
Oh.
And I said, hey, what is that? And I had Harleys at the time. And I
Is that
drug
the
it home.
green thing?
Yeah, yep, the red.
Oh, the red
Okay,
one.
right
Oh, okay.
beside it,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, that was another. I buy stuff for nothing that nobody else knows how to work on, and I fix it. So I wound up with 2 of those. The other one, I got it running and sold it. I actually have a Stroker 840 cubic inch, or no, hold on, sorry, 840 cc engine to go in that Kawasaki Terex, and I just got so far with it and quit.
So.
Lost interest. It's probably going to get. It's either going to get finished or sold in the next few years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the 3-wheeler here.
The 3-wheeler here is the Harley Davidson golf cart. It actually runs. It's extremely hard to find parts for, and I need a special gasket that goes between the carburetor
Right.
and the engine.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to find it.
So if anybody has any parts for that, we're gonna put your contact information as
Okay,
far
yeah.
as we'll put an email
Email address.
address. So if you guys have parts for this, or maybe this is your dream,
Yeah, because initially wanted to get this from my mom. I was going to get it running and paint it and give it to her, and I thought
Right.
she could drive around and tend flowers with it.
AMF
But it's
Harley
getting
Davidson.
it's kind of so many irons in the fire now.
Yeah.
And she's already got a John Deere Gator.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and by the way, AMF also owned a bunch of bowling
Oh,
bowling
really?
stuff. That's
I
an
didn't know
AMF
that.
too. They
Okay.
also made all the bowling balls and bowling
Okay, gotcha.
things.
I
So
didn't know that.
that was a weird marriage when they went to the Harleys.
yeah.
But
It's got a Columbia engine in it, and when you put it in reverse, the starter. Okay, the generator is the starter.
okay.
So when you put it in reverse, it actually cranks the motor up in reverse, and it just drives backwards. And I think it's got a 9-inch Ford rear end in it. So
Wow.
somebody out there might want to, might be interested in that.
Yeah, maybe you could put some big M50s on that, some center lines, and
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm not sure.
I guess they took the seats out.
Yeah, he took the seat out, and it had the canopy. He pulled
Okay.
it off and put it on his modern golf cart.
Gotcha.
And I would have really liked to have had that. I thought about building. If I built one, almost building it like the Flintstone.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
like
that would
the-
be cool.
Yeah.
So, and it's even, I guess these are for stabilizing if you go to turn. It's like a helicopter skid or something.
Yeah.
So
it's all supposed to be chrome, but it's not in great shape.
Right.
I see when I look at this, I see this in like a 60s era pastel blue with like probably white bars.
Oh yeah.
All over it or
oh
something.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it's got that old rocket.
Yeah, it looks like an old 50s.
Yeah, 50s.
Something. That'd be fun to have in parades and stuff.
You know, it'd actually be cool. Maybe even if you put some fins on it.
There you go.
I don't know.
So, well, and then we're not going to look at your business because you're going to do that on yours. So, but what's the name of your business?
It's Sinister Stitches Upholstery.
Sinister Stitches Upholstery.
Yep.
And what would be an email address for that?
It's Sinister Stitches at Sinister Stitches at Outlook.com.
At Outlook.com, okay. And it's I'll spell it down the bottom here so we have it. And we saw, if you want to see his, in fact, you know what I'll do is I'm gonna put some video of the seats that he was making for a project, which we can't talk about, but we could show the seats because he was changing the colors of the seats. But we'll put that video up right now. As you're hearing my voice, you're going to see pictures of the work that he does, which is just crazy amazing for upholstery. And I don't know what how busy you are or whatever, but if you're somebody who is looking for, and I can tell you right now, some of the top car companies are using him for some stuff. So if he's good enough for prototypes for, you know, cars that are worth more than a house, then you know he can do pretty much anything you need. And it's so neat, just, you know, you never know who you're going to meet. Like I said, I just kind of stopped because I saw a group of cars, and it turns out
going into this career field and something I love I think it's been one of the most rewarding things because I meet people I never would have met otherwise, you know, and I get to talk to people. I love it, you know.
And everybody in the car, everybody I've met, is just nice. Everybody's helpful. There's no competition about things. Now, maybe when you get into like the custom car builder guys that are competing with each other in FEMA or something, not FEMA. SEMA.
Yeah.
Not FEMA, although some of them belong in FEMA when you look at them. But SEMA, you're competing. But even that, I mean, almost every car guys, everybody seems to help each other. Everybody wants everybody to succeed. The only way we're going to have a business of classic cars is if everybody, because everything right now is fighting. Even the GM, everybody's taking these pledges. They're not going to make gasoline cars. And then all of a sudden, the best part is Mopar comes out and goes, yeah, we're going to be making electric cars, but we're going to put some a 70 CUDA and a 70 Charger roller available from, you know. So everybody's kind of now backing off, going, wait, you know, maybe. Because I don't know about you, but I ain't flying in no electric airplanes, so they're going to need some fossil fuel for a while.
I believe so. Yeah, I feel the same. I'm not against the electric stuff, but I think forcing it is the wrong approach.
Well, we don't have the. I mean,
I don't think we have the infrastructure.
Here, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've been driving around here, and in South Georgia, if you got a Tesla, man, you better have something to plug in at your house because I have not seen too many plug-ins down here. Florida's different. Florida has tons, but
if
up
you're
here,
in a large city, you know, you don't know what life's like out here.
And you grew up in a rodeo.
Yeah, I grew up in rodeo. My dad was a ranch manager for B&B Rodeo Company. We put on rodeos all over the southeastern United States. American Cowboy Association is what it was at the time. It's now the, I believe it's the RCA, the Rodeo and Cowboy Association. But we went down to South Florida and caught wild cows. And we'd take a dually, you know, four-wheel drive dually, and we're driving through water that's almost up to the windows, and that was just part of work. You know what I mean? It wasn't for fun, it was for work. I don't see how a really heavy electric vehicle is going to do that.
Well, look what happened to the Teslas. With the Teslas right now in Fort Myers are catching fire because the lithium batteries got salt water in them, and they're just catching fire.
Oh yeah, it's just that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm not a hater. I just don't. I don't think it fits. The shoe doesn't fit everybody. You know, if it works for you, it works for you. If it don't, it don't. that CJ7 Jeep over there, some of the places I've went with it through creeks and streams and drive it right down the middle of the river. I wouldn't do that in an electric.
I want everybody to buy an electric car, because then you won't have any interest in none of the stuff that I like.
This would be a great idea. You know what?
I think everybody should buy electric, and that way gas will be cheap for me, and I can buy all the stuff that I like.
Don't forget that the cars are extremely overpriced in South Georgia.
So then, this is a cool car.
Okay, this
is a Cadillac.
Guys, this is a 58 Cadillac Series 62. I have the whole car. A friend of mine who does, my son's gonna pull the car probably.
Now my uncle had one of these. It was all black. He had a 58 and a 59.
So I've got a friend of mine from, he does custom lowriders and stuff. That's all he's into. He's from, oh my gosh, Chicago. He's from Chicago, Illinois.
Is he the guy? Is it?
Yep.
Okay. Psycho. So if you guys watch the video of the car show in Valdosta, he's the one that has that Lincoln that's completely nuts.
That's it. That's
okay.
It. Yeah, I done the interior. I actually did the interior in that car for him in like 10 hours. The whole interior. It was a nightmare. It was. I've never done an interior that fast in my life. It had to be done for a show, and we're probably gonna wind up redoing it. But yeah, that was an ordeal. Stayed up all night long, finished at like 12 o'clock the next day. This car, I went and picked it up. Of course, he doesn't do original.
Right.
He does custom or nothing. So this was a complete car. He gave the motor and transmission, everything out of it away. But he did, he shaved the door handles. Somewhere, he's got another door. He's got the rest of the parts for the car. I traded him a Volkswagen Beetle for it.
Okay.
One of the new Beetles, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah, he hates Cadillacs. He's a Lincoln guy.
Okay.
Long story. This was for a girlfriend. The girlfriend adiosed, and he didn't want a Cadillac in his yard. So I wound up with it, and for my mom, and mom told me that she had drove a '67 Camaro
right
when she was in high school, and if I wanted to buy her a Camaro, she'd love to have it, but she wasn't an old lady. So I like this car, and I keep going back and forth on it. I recently found a good price on a 5.9 Hemi.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about grabbing that in the transmission, and I've got a 70 model Camaro front clip for it, and I'm gonna chop the frame and graft in the 70 model Camaro front clip, possibly. It's up in the air. I really would like to put the original stuff back in it because this car was so complete.
Right.
But I don't have it, and I don't have time to try to look for it. But anyways, yeah, we've got that. I've got another part. I've got a lot of other parts for it. I've actually got an original floor pan from another car that I've got to go in it. It's the whole floor pan. So I don't know how it didn't rust out. The rest of the car was a wreck.
Now, my uncle had this, a 4-door. This is a 58.
Yep.
And his was all black, and then he had an all black 59 2-door with, and we used to call them the Batmobiles because he kept them in. He sold his at auction when he, about 10 years ago, but he had them all grown up. And these things, especially the back, other than the Lizard, the back lights and all this stuff, these things are cool with the fins.
This one, if I'm not mistaken, this is here.
Yeah, it's a gas.
The tail light folds over.
Yep.
And you can for your gas. This one is it's probably gonna wind up Robin Thicke blue with like a pearl white top, something like that. I love those colors.
Right.
And from back then, I'm probably gonna do something like Atomic Age on the interior.
Right.
I've been looking at different. I mean, it's gonna be this will be more period correct, kind of, I guess, on the interior. I've got
so it'll be like period influenced.
Influenced, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Not correct, but period influence. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
96.
So it's been off the road since '96. Wow.
So I'm different from most people, I guess, being I'm in upholsterer. When I see a car, I fall in love with the interior.
Right.
And this car really wouldn't have caught my eye so much until I looked inside. I love the way the dash continues down with that chrome down the passenger door. And I fell in love with the dash in the car.
Okay.
The seats, I've got those too. I fell in love with those and the pattern.
Armrests right.
Oh yeah, it's all here.
So it's here.
Most of it's in the trailer, packed up in the little Debbie trailer.
Yeah, and the best thing is, when people take cars apart, this is how you should do it. You should just take all the bolts and not label anything.
Nothing.
And just put them in other boxes with other bolts. Because really, that's what you want to do when you're trying to put the car back together, is make it as hard and difficult as possible to make sure all the bolts that look the same, that are just slightly different, don't fit. You're the same people that make a puzzle upside down on the table and start from the center out.
Now you know why I
Freaking
get so
psychos.
many cars at good prices.
Now I know why that's his nickname is Psycho, because that's how
This is how I got the car from him too. Yeah, because he was like, I actually said, "What did you do?" He said, "I'm throwing stuff away, man."
And a real car guy has a transmission sitting out here.
Yeah.
So you have to have that.
You need a torque flat sitting around and a Volkswagen Beetle transmission, a new Beetle.
Well, yeah. So that's it, guys. That's that. And no, this isn't filled with little Debbies.
No, so if you want to take a look in there, you might like what you see. I don't know. You'll see a whole lot of Cadillac.
So this is what, if you had a grenade that blew out Cadillac parts, then this is what a Cadillac grenade looks like.
Yeah. And a new Beetle.
Okay. Yeah, there's the fenders and everything.
Fenders, seats.
You must love IKEA.
Yeah.
You're like an IKEA guy.
The IKEA.
Everything he gets is like, let me put it in as many parts as possible first.
That's the way it feels. I tell you, sometimes some of the family thinks there's something wrong with me. I don't see anything wrong. I saw something the other day we're going to go look at.
There you go. Well, if you like model cars as a kid, you just can't help yourself.
No, that's right. That's it. And it was like Pokemons. I'm going to collect them all.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, well, man, Gary, it's been such a pleasure today talking to you and everything else, and your son.
Yep.
So good luck with your first car there.
Oh, yeah.
So, I can't wait to come back and see what other piles of car.
Oh, yeah. So, there's no telling what you'll see here tomorrow. If you'd have got here 2 months ago, there was a 70 Chevelle. Out here.
No,
really clean roller.
See, that would have ripped my heart, because that's mine. That's what I'm looking for. Either that, or I would like to get a '80s Monte Carlo and do a Dale Earnhardt tribute car.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So
that would be awesome.
Or Harry Gant, because I like a Skull Bandit car.
Oh, that's right.
That's kind of what.
I'm gonna let something sneak out here. Well, I'm just gonna say what it is. I'm not gonna say where it's at. I've got a line on a '68 Super B.
Oh wow, okay.
And I was sent a photo of it, and it's not, I don't think it's going to be very much money at all. It's the whole car.
Wow.
Been sitting in the woods since the '80s. I would put it in worse shape than the Roadrunner.
Okay.
But it is the whole car.
There you go.
And the
start with the
rust
VIN
is so bad the back glass fell out because the piece between the trunk just fell in.
Well, as long as it's got the VIN plates, you can build everything else around it.
It's a 444 speed Super B.
There you go.
And that's my force. I was looking at it and I said, well, if it's too far for me,
right.
there's a 4-speed.
There you go.
There's my Cornet.
There you go.
And,
I mean, there's useful stuff on it.
Yeah, there's useful stuff on it. It won't go to.
And if you don't need it, there's so many people that need donor stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I think the motor's probably no good.
Yeah.
Because they left the hood off. So.
Oh yeah, it's probably got some water in it.
So
and small animals
and
have
valley pans, and they don't last in the rain.
So. All right. Well, we'll come if he gets that. Maybe we can come back.
Yeah,
and
that would be
and
cool.
that would be good to. And like I said, I'm gonna hopefully convince him to start his YouTube channel sooner than later, because that seems to be. You have no idea, and you guys may be watching this and be one of those people. I meet so many people that want to start one.
Oh yeah.
And it's not hard to start, guys. You don't even need. If you look at my first 10 videos, they were done on a cell phone.
Oh, got you.
So you guys, you don't need anything. I totally, at this point, with 3.6 million people, 18,000 followers, 600 videos, I spent a total of maybe $700 on equipment over 2 years.
Wow,
and that's like being really like generous to it. I mean, that's not even, I really probably spent about $400 because I buy a lot of the best place. I'm going to tell y'all a secret on here since you've stayed to the end. The GoPro cameras I shoot on, one I bought new, But I'll tell you right now, you go to any pawn shop in America, I guarantee there's a GoPro sitting there for $150. And if you get the GoPro 8s, which is what I shoot on, so if you've seen my videos, a GoPro 8, well, for $150, and you can get started with a GoPro. And then go to Walmart and buy all the stuff, everything else GoPro from Walmart. It's the cheapest place, not B&H or any of this other crap. Just go to Walmart. I know you don't like Walmart, but low prices sometimes are low prices. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Here's April.
Thank you.
April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that and it's going to take you here.